Welcome back, Captain. How can I be of assistance? Certainly, Captain. I was hoping you would ask.
It was the law-forsaken parasites. I had become obsessed. My quest to stop them. To avenge my partner, Philip. And my ex-partner, Bernice. And Lieutenant Jurgen. And those two informants had brought me to Rizzo's distillery. But it wasn't just the triple distilled deliciousness of Rizzo's Spectrum brand vodka that I found there. It was death. I made sure the Brain Eaters paid the price. But at what cost to me? It's you.
This is the Halcyon News Network with breaking news. Halcyon Helen has been murdered. Administrator Ludovico of Rizzo's refused to answer the big question on everyone's mind. Who will Spectrum Vodka's next spokesperson be? Claiming that a special investigation must be concluded first.
Captain, we have a communication coming in from one Administrator Ludovico.
Get off the transmission, Cedric. We agreed to let me do the negotiating. Law be with you, friend. I am Administrator Ludovico of the famed Eridanos Atmospheric Complex. But there's no need to stand on formality. You may address me as Mr. Her death is the tragedy of our lifetime. As the face of our new product line, her murder is a stain on the Rizzo's brand. She was scheduled to unveil our newest product, Spectrum Brown, before this tragic event. But we cannot move forward with our unveiling until we apprehend the killer.
All right, Ludovico, that's enough. You don't know what you're doing. Let me handle this. Captain Hawthorne, I've been looking forward to meeting Adjutant Akonde's favorite gun. Cedric Kincannon, Sublight Underground. I'm so glad we're hiring a third-party investigator. No one wants to see a troop of UDL guards stomping all over my hotel, least of all me. The murder of Halcyon Helen is a heinous assault on this colony. I look forward to watching you find the miscreant responsible and drag them out of the shadows. Two-bit actor. Oh, Captain. This isn't Spencer Woolridge we're talking about. This is Halcyon Helen, Princess of Periodicals, Duchess of Dramaturgy. You would not believe the money she made us on Dissident Busters.
For law's sake, Cedric, could you show a little discretion and not bring up your contraband operations in front of an outsider?
Ludovico, you wound me. I'm establishing rapport with our new contractor. Let's not give him the impression that you can't be trusted.
Do you really want to do this right now, Cedric? You want to antagonize me while I'm negotiating a contract? Because I promise you, I'll win.
Yes, exactly. Thank you. Honest to law, how hard is it to hire a freelancer? Apologies, Mr. Ludovico. That was inappropriate of me. Captain, I'm Constable Maria Keene. Hiring a third-party investigator was my idea. I've been studying your dossier. You are Adjutant Akonde's most reliable freelancer. If the second most powerful person in Halcyon can depend on you, then I'd like to think we can depend on you. As far as I'm concerned, You're the ideal inspector for this case. I hate to admit it, but I'm a little out of my depth here. I'm used to dealing with rowdy VIPs from Byzantium, not murder. Please, Captain, I'm asking you to help us. While you're pursuing your investigation, we'll make you a guest of honor at the Grand Colonial.
I encourage you to consider this offer seriously. The future of our complex may depend on your success. I'll leave you in the constable's care. Mr. Kincannon and I must have a word.
Fine. But Rizzo's is paying for that hotel room.
I can't tell you how grateful I am for your help. And even though they may not show their gratitude, I know Administrator Ludovico and Mr. Kincannon appreciate your involvement. Mr. Kincannon could lose his spaceport if board authorities took over the investigation, and if Rizzo's is forced to cancel its unveiling, we might never recover. I represent the law, Captain, but what's happening between Mr. Kincannon and the Administrator is politics. Politics are not my area of expertise. The law is simple. Politics are complicated. I'm pleased to hear that. From everything I've heard, you're a competent freelancer. And at the risk of sounding impertinent, we desperately need the help of someone competent. Thank you for your time, Captain. Whenever you're ready, I've authorized the Unreliable to land at the Grand Colonial.
Transmission terminated. Captain, we are now cleared to land at the Eridanos atmospheric complex. Eridanos is a hydrogen-helium gas giant, distinguished by a well-defined ring system. The Eridanos atmospheric complex is a system of land masses propelled through a thin layer of the upper atmosphere, where humans are potentially capable of surviving. There are several reasons why someone would hire your services. In descending order of likelihood, they are as follows: desperation, confusion, mistaken identity, inebriation, and genuine faith in your abilities. We're now docked at Eridanos' luxury landing pad.
You know, we don't have to catch Helen's killer right this second. Maybe we ought to take in the sights. Hello there. Hope your atmospheric entry wasn't too troublesome. As a guest of honor, you deserve the best in comfort.
Sublight Salvage and Shipping Underground, or Slug, as we like to call ourselves, is delighted to welcome you to Eridanos. I'm the Grand Colonial Head Bellhop. I'm here to grab your bags and direct you, the Inspector, to the Grand Ballroom, which was the scene of the crime. I can try. I was the one who found Helen's body in the Grand Ballroom. Corpse wasn't in the best shape. Aside from that, I don't know a whole lot. Helen was supposed to host the unveiling for Rizzo's newest product, Spectrum Brown. Until you catch the killer, the unveiling's been indefinitely postponed. Helen's death has been a shock for many. A lot of people are inconsolable. Hell, even Black Hole Birdie, Helen's beau, has wandered off. Some folks think he had something to do with the murder, but I don't believe it.
Hey, Black Hole Birdie may be a savage brute on the field of honor, but he's no killer.
I still don't understand why anyone would have it in for Ms. Helen.
Folks get heated when it comes to serials and their actors, I suppose. Of course. That is, I would love to. Unfortunately, it's currently still being prepared. Not to speak out of turn, but I think the idea was that the hotel staff would continue to clean your room while you investigated the crime scene. I'm glad to hear it. Was worried I had the wrong person for a moment. Anyway, I think I've held you up long enough. Once you're ready, head down to the lobby. The ballroom is just behind the elevators. Meanwhile, I'll grab your bags. You're making fun, right? Your luggage, belongings, kit, wherever you keep what you ain't wearing. You're still giving me a pretty blank look. Suppose it's none of my business, but do you just wear the same set of clothes all the time? Well, reckon I can respect your candor, even if it scares me a smidge. Anyhow, I'll look for you in the Grand Ballroom later. Hope you can unravel this mystery, Inspector.
Why'd Helen have to go and die in our hotel? We don't need that kind of notoriety. Something in my ear. I could have sworn you just said... Do you have any idea how many bits I've spent at the Grand Colonial? Is my package...
Greetings, Inspector. No need to check in here. Your paperwork has all been processed. You should be able to find the Colonial right ahead.
I feel like I'm spending a fortune just standing here. No, I never imagined Spencer Woolrich would outlive Halcyon Helen.
Halcyon Helen's death was the worst part of all this.
What? You don't mean to tell me that it isn't? There's something even worse?
There is.
You know, for a monument to the wealth of the elite built on the backs of the working class, it's real pretty.
The murder has inflicted severe emotional trauma on me. I demand a room upgrade.
Why, hello there. Goodness, I always enjoy seeing guests, but it's been so long since I've chatted face to face that I about hopped out of my skin at the sight of you. Excuse me, I should introduce myself, though you might know me already, just not by name. I'm Bellhop Sullivan. You've likely heard my dulcet tones through the elevator intercom. I understand. There's much to see and do in the Grand Colonial, and I'm not hurt just because you didn't come here to see me. Not that hurt, anyhow. Now that our introductions are out of the way, do let me know if I can help you with anything. Unfortunately not. I was in the operator room for the elevator, as usual. The camera feed only allows me to see within the elevator, which always has many people coming through. For what it's worth, the murder was a right shame. I always enjoyed the serials starring Ms. Helen, though I did find them prone to repetitive plot structures. But I'm sure you've heard the rumor about what actually did her in. That marauders got into the hotel and management is covering it up so the guests don't run off? Well, not necessarily. But they're fairly prevalent on the other complexes. It wouldn't take much for them to find their way here. Slug claims they've got the problem under control, but I don't understand why they haven't simply gone and exterminated all of the marauders like the vermin they are. Oh, well, I'm just here to push buttons. Well, yes, but having an operator certifies that the right guests end up on the proper floors. We wouldn't want tossball players rubbing shoulders with CEOs. It'd be anarchy. Plus, there's always the risk a guest chips a nail or loses a ring on a button. It's an extra effort, but the Grand Colonial prides itself on personalized service in all things. That and the elevator still works if I'm ever not around. I do take occasional breaks and sleep every so often.
Hushing up.
I'll bet you 10 bits this is all just some sort of publicity stunt.
With Halcyon...
black hole Bertie's disappeared, you know. The poor fellow must be inconsolable.
Oh, thank the law. Inspector, you don't know how relieved I am to see you. Constable Maria Keene. It's good to meet you in person, Inspector.
Dr. Goodnight. Ecstatic to make your various acquaintances and so on. Are we finished with the pleasantries? There's something I'm excited to show you. An extraordinary contraption. You'll love it.
Our coroner has developed a device which may prove useful in your investigation. Our office has instructed her to hand it over to you.
Our office has instructed her to hand it over to you. Oh, please. You make it sound as if I'm turning over stolen goods. Behold, my discrepancy amplifier. Hold it in your hands. Feel the way it hums with ontological potential. I work with the materials to which I have access. Halcyon has no shortage of rifles. The discrepancy amplifier uses a deterministic model of our universe to detect the discrepancy between what should be and what actually is. Then it renders any discrepancies visible by using the power of magnification. Go on then. Give it a try. Just treat the amplifier as you would a weapon. Hold it good and steady and look down scope.
I'm contractually prohibited from endorsing off-brand technology, but I'll bend that rule just this once. You'll want to peer into the amplifier and examine the crime scene.
The discrepancy amplifier is now operational. Greetings, designated inspector and/or unauthorized larcenist. This unit has detected a discrepancy related to Halcyon Helen. Unscheduled expiration of. Begin amplification. The discrepancy amplifier has been programmed with advanced speech recognition, scientific analysis, and deterministic calculus protocols.
Oh, you'll love this. Amplifier, tell the inspector about your features.
Please do not interrupt the discrepancy amplifier. The discrepancy amplifier is programmed to take instruction from its registered or designated inspector.
How curious. I must have set its impertinence levels to flagrant.
This unit's features include an automated personality simulator. This unit has been programmed to simulate joy and satisfaction in assisting you. This footprint stands out from the normally spotless floor of the grand ballroom. Typically, the ballroom is cleaned twice daily, which means this must have been made by either Helen or her assailant or assailant. Footprint is a tailor-made 8.75, suggesting that its owner was very particular about their shoe size. It is also the exact size that Halcyon Helen typically prefers. There are traces of dirt throughout the footprint. The dirt carries traces of fertilizer, as well as the faint signs of crushed purpleberries and grass. Grass, fertilizer, and purpleberries can all be found in the purpleberry orchards, located not far from the Grand Colonio. This deduction appears sound.
Good work, Inspector. I had a feeling we'd make some progress once we brought you onto the case. You'll need Administrator Ludovico to grant you access to the orchards. Contact him through the secure access terminal in your penthouse suite. Check in with the concierge. Your room should be ready by now. If it isn't, I may have to go shake someone by the collar.
timeline discrepancy detected.
I knew I should have gotten her autograph when I had the chance. Look at these people, gawking over Helen's corpse. Bunch of parasites.
How awful! I left my favorite jacket in here.
I'm sorry, sir, but while the hotel is an active crime scene, I regret to inform you that all new bookings, room upgrades, room downgrades, and in-room massages are suspect. Oh, you're the special inspector. Mr. Kincannon warned me you'd be checking in soon. Ah, yes. We are most pleased to offer you our grandest of grand accommodations, Inspector. The penthouse suite on our topmost floor is now available for you. The last guest left her belongings behind when she vacated unexpectedly, so we needed a little time to tidy the suite up for you. Simply call the elevator in the lobby, and our highly skilled operator will deliver you to your private floor with efficiency and cheer. My apologies, Inspector, but that would be a severe violation of guest privacy. We here at the Grand Colonial firmly believe that... All right, my supervisor just walked out of earshot. Some folks just don't understand the importance of gossip. About whom? And what would you wish to know? You know, out of everyone here, I probably knew the least about Helen. I'm not much of an Aether Wave watcher myself. And Helen always had a crowd of admirers chasing her, you see, so she rarely stopped to chat. Friendly enough, surely, but always seemed untouchable. Emphasis on seemed. Everyone wanted to be around Helen. She could usually be seen alongside Bertie or Woolrich, for obvious reasons. Ah, Bertie. Is he bigger than he is dumb, or dumber than he is big? I've a bet with a friend. Not sure we'll ever get it to pay out. Bertie used to be Helen's beau, though he isn't anymore, and not just because she's dead. If I had 1,000,000 bits, I'd spend every one just to learn what caused their split. If looks could kill, he'd have put her in the ground 10 times over. Man's clearly jealous of her success compared to his. See, I'd bet we're the only two people thinking about him in all of Eridanos. And I only am because you mentioned his name. If you leave woolly cow milk out, it turns to curds. Leave the curds out, they begin to get stale, then rot. Woolridge is on his way to the trash bin, and everyone knows it. Either he's in denial, or he knew Helen would be checking out soon, judging by his increasing demands for a room upgrade. That's a shame, Inspector. What if I wanted to know a little about you? Then I guess we'll have to see if you find Helen's murderer, won't we? Myself, and all of the staff at the Grand Colonial, will be rooting for you, Inspector.
We should try to solve the puzzle.
Hello there, my inordinately... Oh, you're the one who visited me. Hello again. Thanks so much for brightening my day. What authorized floor can I bring you to? Next stop, the finest seat in the house.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
Helen, where did we go wrong? Oh, Law, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean for... Helen, I love you. I love you so much.
Inspector, I understand you've visited the scene of the crime. Halcyon Helen was an important cultural icon. She will be sorely missed. Halcyon Helen was more than a character. She was a brand. Her death will now be associated with Rizzo's Spectrum Brown. You understand why that worries me. I do not. Spacer's Choice has that market cornered. Back to the matter at hand. Tell me about your investigation. Your discretion is appreciated. I admit, I'm beginning to feel more confident in this arrangement. Here, I'm granting you access through the gates to the orchards. You're officially authorized to see this investigation through to the end. There is one caveat. Cedric's being rather intransigent about letting you into the spaceport. Possibly he's trying to hide something. Possibly he wants to annoy me. Possibly both. I agree with the sentiment behind your snide remark. Unfortunately, the Piraeus spaceport is Cedric's purview, not mine. You have a lead to chase. Law speed, Inspector.
Everything's so soft and silky and expensive. Oh gosh, I hope I don't get any grease stains on the furniture.
You think they'd object to me setting up a tanning station here?
Hi there, Inspector. It might be a little beyond my job description to ask, but at my heart, I'm still a bellhop. Was the suite to your liking? Good. I'm glad. Now, I'd love to bring you to a floor of your choosing.
Ugh, this smells worse than rancid salt tuna. Oh, well, I think it's coming from the pool.
Currently closed again. Oh, you're that inspector. Right. Sorry, but the pool's currently closed on account of it stinking worse than my boss. What can I do for you? Space me if I knew. I got here for my shift this morning and found it this way. They can't yell at me for this one, which is good, because a lot of folks seem upset by it. Sorry, Inspector, but our hands are a little tied at present. Our normal cleaner's off-site, and what with the murder and all, there's no telling when we'll be able to go get him. Can't do much now but wait for the stench to wear off. We found the individual hired to clean face down in a puddle of his own spit in the orchards. Guess he won't be helping. Alright. You may want to visit the sun parlor. That's where that Rizzo's fool mixed the chemicals he used. Oh, and you can talk to Lily, my boss. She probably has some great advice. I saw her walk toward the bridge to the Purpleberry Orchards earlier. Reckon she's still there. Now, anything else I can do for you? So long as you don't want to go in, I can answer anything you like. Yeah, it's part of the job. I think I'm listed as a security consultant. But all that really means is that if I'm caught without this thing, I get put on pool guard duty. I don't know what happens if I'm caught without it on pool guard duty, but I know that I don't want to find out. Yep, still dead. Usually Rizzo's is pretty good at making sure the people they hire ain't got tripicale for brains. but that fella clearly wasn't worth trusting. I met him briefly once. Seemed level-headed enough, but that must have been just a front. Otherwise, he wouldn't have made such a mess of things. Sounds good to me.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Analysis reveals the chemical signature of this compound is 80% semblant of fertilizer used in the purpleberry orchards. The other 20% is semblant of pool water.
Score one for Felix.
Who in the name of the law was supposed to be watching the wilderness checkpoint?
Why would anybody bring raptidons up here? Don't this hotel have a policy on animals?
What? I'm just another hotel guest enjoying my time. Or something. Have you seen the profit of profitability? I saw you meander on out of the pool and into the greenhouse. Now you're here. Does that mean what I think it means? Good. If you're interested in burying the pool, I'm interested in paying you. Maybe not. Maybe I just want Rizzo's working relationship with Slug to implode for the benefit of Spacer's Choice. But you're right. It ain't high profile. And it ain't gotta be. Any damage to Rizzo's is cause for celebration. You ain't gotta concern yourself with my spite. Consider me an average Byzantine, and I'll consider you an average contractor. Shame. Well, I hope you'll soon see Rizzo's for what they are, and help me bring them low.
Oh, thanks a million, Inspector. The smell cleared right up. Well, in a couple hours, the guests might even be back. Then I actually gotta start doing my job. Of course, we're not gonna get a follow-up shipment for the water anytime soon, so they'll have to content themselves on the deck. I got a little something for making my job that much less miserable. It's the key to our storeroom. If my boss asks, you never met me. I guess I can spare a few bits. And, here, this pack of smokes. Sorry, they don't really load me up with the goods. I gotta get back to it if you don't mind, Inspector.
A sudden death knockout court. It's pretty much just tossball for folks who don't want to get their hands dirty.
Heard, but we're in the middle of a lockdown. No one's supposed to be coming or going. And when I can't get a hold of anyone in the orchards, I can't make sure of that, can I?
Swear to the architect, Matthias, if you've lost your rifle's ionization coil again. Oh, wait, you ain't part of my crew. What do you want? Oh, thank the law you're here about the pool. That crucial thing that isn't my job to fix, and that, as such, I don't care about. If you want advice, here it is. Don't talk to that imbecile ever again. Even by my crew's standards, he's duller than a telescoping staff. And he's not even one of my worst problems. I got landing pad lockdowns, gate closures, angry guests, and now one of my crew is AWOL. I wish. Matthias is about as useful as a manta queen in a saltuna cannery. Wouldn't give a damn if he were lost. Frankly, he'd be doing me a favor. If you're serious, I'd appreciate the help. He's been missing a few days, and we're low on staff as it is. It's not exactly uncommon for slug agents to go on the odd bender. They'll pick a place they think I don't know about and hunker down. Usually I don't bother with the discipline and paperwork. Gotta pick your battles. Thing is, they usually resurface within 24 hours, or at least yell for medical help. This guy, not a peep. The missing crew member's Evan O'Connell. He's one of about 2 slug agents I can trust with more complex tasks than stand here and look tough. Friendly type. Well-behaved, followed orders. Anyone else, I'd think they got drunk and fell asleep in a ditch somewhere, but O'Connell's not really the type. He was last stationed at the Wilderness checkpoint. I'd search there first.
I hope the...
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Analysis concludes. The losing player used an overly cautious strategy that led to an insurmountable deficit in points. Slug discipline records show a half-dozen reports of illegal gambling in games of chance on company property. Perhaps there's evidence of an ante for this game?
On the Groundbreaker, dock workers used to bet their shifts on a game of cards. Maybe they're doing something like that.
Great work!
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. The garb on this security guard identifies him as a member of the Rizzo's corporation. His rank would have been that of jawbreaker or higher. This security guard has experienced premature expiration. Evidence strongly suggests a conflict with marauders.
I doubt Rizzo's would ever shed a tear over him.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
Hey, Crew C. It's Amelia. Evan must have gotten into the Spectrum in these crates. Listen to this. Come out! Come out to play! Law, he's having a grand old time. I'm gonna take him to A2 under the hotel so he can sleep it off. I'll meet you back at the orchard straight after. See you soon. Evan, come on, you slackwit.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. This card also expired prematurely, following a violent encounter with marauders. Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. This card also expired prematurely, following a violent encounter with marauders.
Rizzo Spectrum Vodka. Aftertaste Pennsylvania.
Black hole.
Well, I suppose I've seen... something mighty strange when...
Get any...
Of course the hotel don't give their workers a decent living. Why would they? That'd be, you know, decent.
Everyone all right?
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Inspector, I've detected a structural anomaly within a 0.8-meter radius of this locked door. The structural anomaly is not present in the design of the door. Please direct your attention to this nearby floor panel. This floor panel is 0.3 millimeters shorter than regulation length. Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Analysis confirms this is Evan O'Connell. Analysis also confirms he is dead. additional study of this body's skeletal structure, the cause of death was head trauma. That is correct. Evan was not killed by Eridanium gigaseus. However, Eridanium gigaseus do appear to be responsible for the early decomposition of this body's surface tissue. Further analysis indicates Evan's fatal injuries were sustained from blunt force trauma to the back of the skull, and his head collided with the ground. Respiratory analysis concludes Evan was not intoxicated at time of death. There are traces of blood on Evan's hands, Inspector. Analysis concludes this blood is human, type A. Medical records indicate Evan O'Connell's blood is type O. It is highly likely the blood is the result of an altercation. If you wish to question Amelia Stillwell, Slug's scheduling records indicate that she is presently on duty at the pilot house checkpoint.
In room A3, please. Someone come help me. I'm feeling weak. Please, just open.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. This collection of frozen food has not been restocked in some time. Many of these items are not available in the Grand Colonial, and must have been brought in from outside. The fridge was transported here from one of the guest bedrooms upstairs.
Here they come!
I'm trapped in room A3. Please, someone come help me. I'm feeling weak. Please just open the door. And I'm not sure how much longer I'll make it. The door's stuck. And I know I need to write a service request, but I can't get it under the door. Is anyone there?
Warum ist sie nicht einfach hier rausgeklettert? WTF? Sie ist hier drinnen verhungert, aber warum ist sie hier nicht raus? Ist es erst abgefallen oder was? Komisch. Ja, bis jetzt muss ich sagen, geiles zweites DLC. Macht Laune.
Can't imagine what it must be like. Living down here like sprats on a wall. Done.
Oh, hello there. Nice to see you. Anything you'd like to discuss?
You, hear about the murder?
How the hell could I not have?
I must say...
Non-slug personnel aren't permitted on the pilot house. Can I help you with something? Sure. He in trouble or something? You're kidding! Evan's dead? That doesn't... I don't understand. Can I ask what happened? I know he got drunk on the job, and I took him back to the hotel to sleep it off. Left him on one of the beds in A2. He seemed fine. You won't believe me if I tell you. You what? Well, shit. Maybe you will believe me. I walked Evan to A2, like I said, and then, out of nowhere, he just came at me. 1 minute he's laughing and yelling about sharing his joy, and the next, he's choking the life out of me. Grinned the whole time he was trying to kill me, too. I never meant to hurt him. What he did was... well, he scared me half to death. But we've been friends for years. I only wanted to get him off me. I got a good hit in, threw him off, and ran like hell. If I'd known the fall killed him, I don't know. I should have told someone. What do you want to know? I can't help you there. Have you been to Purpleberry Orchards, Inspector? Awfully nice out there. You should visit. Anytime. Because Evan would never attack anyone. I barely believe he attacked me, and I was there. Guess it shook me up pretty good. Evan's always been a total sweetheart. I don't get it. Law, this is making less and less sense. I didn't actually see him drink, if that's what you're asking. Just seemed like the logical explanation, considering how weird he was acting. Real energetic, but also totally out of it. He was grinning like a fool the whole time, even when he attacked me. I don't know. The whole thing shook me up something fierce, but I'm still here. I'm upset. Angry at Evan. Sad about him being... you know... scared folks won't believe me. I'm not much for math, so I couldn't tell you how that averages out. But thanks for asking. So, what happens now, Inspector? Fair enough. I just wish I could understand why he did what he did. Evan is... he was my friend. Or I thought he was. I don't know. I hope you're able to make more sense of this than I can, Inspector. Hey, Inspector. Okay, shoot. I can't help you there. Have you been to Purpleberry Orchards, Inspector? Awfully nice out there. You should visit. Well, think it...
Maybe I could hold up my end if your people weren't sabotaging my operations. And if sabotaging the orchards weren't enough, you had to make it personal. You really had to bust my Insta coffee maker too? The nerve.
Hold that asinine thought. Who was this armed stranger who just wandered into your office? Back up for a fight you can't finish?
What the hell are you talking about? I don't know this fella. I think it's mightily more likely that he's under your payroll. Here to burn down what you haven't already.
I see. Just a visitor, then. Congratulations, Hathaway. Not everyone's abandoned your orchards.
Well, shame that you're trying to change that. Anyway, sorry for the heated reception, stranger. There's just been some... trouble here of late. Name's Overseeing Orchardist Hathaway, and I'm in charge of these orchards. Though it seems like certain groups, which will remain unnamed, are trying to change that. Looks like I'm stuck playing the part of customer service rep. Guess it's different from the usual, at least. Something I can do for you? Yeah, I saw her. Tried to flag her down for an autograph, but to no avail. Ran right by me. No idea where she was heading. Seemed like she had a lot on her mind. I'm the overseeing orchardist of the Purpleberry Orchards. My job is to make sure we hit our production quotas.
So he's the fellow with the whip. Bet he thinks his job's the only one that matters.
You better believe it is. Unfortunately, I also have to fight a constant battle with unproductivity. We sure as hell ain't winning that right now. We're way behind, and with Rizzo's Spectrum Brown set to unveil soon, we can't afford to be this way for long. Hell, it'd look grim for my job even if Slug weren't trying to knock me off my perch. Where'd you get that idea? Don't I look happy? Being here is an unemployment sentence. I can't blame anyone else for any screw-ups because I'm in charge. And there's loads of direct scrutiny from the administrator. Those void-damned lab coats in R&D knew that. It was why they sent me here. I think they knew the orchards were gonna start having problems too. Bastards. Supervise, make sure produce gets where it needs to go. Cry every couple days. I report directly to Administrator Ludovico, which is more than a little stressful. Okay then. Whether or not I like it, yes, that's right. Yeah, quotas are higher than ever because of the upcoming release of Spectrum Brown, but we haven't been hitting them. Frankly, it's ridiculous. Our workers are all about 30% more productive than usual. They keep getting injured, which is setting us behind. I blame the treatment Rizzo's keeps making them get. Look, they don't tell me the specifics. All I know is that the workers leave their typical morose selves and come back more chipper than an automechanical woodcarver. Look at Jacob, our groundskeeper, if you ain't met him. If he were any less personable before, I'd have had him replaced with a trained canid. Now he's all smiles. It's like the workers all forgot their 10-minute workplace safety seminars. And that's twice as long as the next leading brand. Our people should be safety experts. And yet, I've seen folks step on open electrical wires, drop pallets on each other. One damn fool even blundered into a wasp-keto hive. Even as he died, he looked fairly pleased. Okay then. Yeah, just another woe to add to the pile. In the past, the orchard subcontracted security work from Slug. You know, keep the malcontents on staff from causing too much trouble. But between the Spectrum Brown unveiling demanding all of our resources and the recent uptick in worker accidents, we just ain't got the budget for security. And, of course, Slug has decided that instead of being reasonable, they're just gonna sabotage our operations until we start paying them again.
Look at the poor Rizzo's manager, lying about Sublight to make himself feel better. Shame he skipped where Rizzo's was short on our payments months before the new unveiling.
Look, at the end of the day, it's obvious that Slug is sabotaging us. I ain't paying until they come clean. Oh, you know, nothing particularly troublesome. Just rogue exterminator mechanicals, opening fire on anything that twitches within 300 yards of them. We've also got a large group of new saplings, all dead from some kind of toxic substance. Poison, I'd guess. And who could forget the tower processing console, which probably just shorted out and stopped working on its own, even though it's outfitted with 3 separate backup systems?
There are a suite of explanations for what could have happened, most pointing to Rizzo's worker incompetence. My people didn't sabotage anything.
Yeah, it was what I mentioned earlier. I swear, if I didn't know better, I'd think our workers were getting hurt on purpose. Thank the law, some good news. You hear that, lapdog? Truth's coming. Better fess up while you still can outside of an interrogation room.
While I'm sure you'd love to have a scapegoat on whom you can pin your own incompetence, I suspect you'll be disappointed. But what do I know? I suppose it's up to your new hiree.
I don't think I've ever seen an orchard before. I mean, other than Miss McDevitt's garden. You mind if we look around a little?
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. These footprints match the shoes previously analyzed in the Grand Ballroom. There is a 110% chance with a 10% margin of error that they were left by Ruth Bellamy, the actress known as Halcyon Helen.
You find anything?
Wow. You sound just like Agent Khan when he's on the case.
I wish I could do that.
Here we go. Good job, Cap.
Wow! Great work!
Well, sweet hello there, valued visitor. I am sure sorry to break it to you, but our orchards are closed to all officially guided tours at this precise moment in time.
I don't mean to alarm you, but I'm pretty sure that grin is permanent.
Why, thank you! Rizzo's encourages all workers to put on a happy face when engaging with valued customers. Rizzo's does beseech you to please purchase one of our self-guided options if you're wishing to join one of our rejuvenative, relaxing, reformatory tours. Now with a Puzzle Hedges trademark maze hunt and special edition taste testing for an extra 35 bits a ticket. Ah, you mean that lovely actor who got herself dead? Damn shame what happened to her. She did come by, but not during any official tour time. I thought she'd hired a private tour at first, but it was Dr. Blossom who was showing her the way to the RR and DD labs. Can't imagine why she'd need to meet with our head researcher on the Spectrum product line outside of her lab hours. Unless, of course, it had to do with the new product unveiling. That's right, she was. She sure made for some lovely adverts. Maybe it might have involved an issue with the launch batch then? I can't rightly say. All I know is one of our certified tour guides could have given her a much more comprehensive tour of the grounds were that her interest. Can't say that I have. We use bad batches of liquor for our pesticides. Only the exterminator mechanicals are armed around here. And I haven't seen any bloody objects aside from the usual pair of gardening shears. Unless, that is, Miss Helen was also stung to death by pollinization mosquitoes? She wasn't, was she? That would be a mighty wretched way to go. Pollinization by killer mosquitoes, indeedy. It's cutting-edge Rizzo's technology. But don't you worry, valued visitor. Our pollinization cycles only run when the orchards are empty, for safety reasons. When a pollinization cycle finishes or is aborted, all waspitos are biologically programmed to return to the hive, their holding pen. Of course, the very last thing Rizzos would want is a beloved tourist bumbling into the hive and triggering an unscheduled cycle. So you'd best steer clear of it for safety. You'll know the hive by its big, glimmering electric fencing. Yes, indeedy. I've got the wondrous honor of having just been promoted to 3rd Keeper of the Grounds after the last one disappeared on the job. Gosh, I guess about a week ago now? Before my morning clock-in last Sunday, I was but a lowly nanner peeler picker on the line shift. Now I'm responsible for growing every twig and berry on this vast swath of fertile land. Heaven sweet, no. It's not like he was murdered. He simply disappeared without a trace and hasn't been heard from since. And the groundkeeper before that one? Well, she wasn't missing at all. Her body was found near hive control, covered head to toe in thousands of welts. No mystery, and certainly no murder with what happened there. I mean, you can't exactly hold some waspitos on trial. Accidents do happen on the job. Can't speak for others, but I most assuredly don't. I reckon you could talk to my supervisor, the overseeing orchardist. He would know more. I used to ask questions, but gee, I just don't feel the urge to anymore. Gosh and goody gumdrops, but I could talk about the orchards till my lips fell off. Instead, let's talk about whatever interests you, because that's what interests me, too. Why, you say that as if it's a bad thing. I am quite overcome with happiness, indeed. You won't find a Rizzo's worker in all of Eridanos who isn't 100% thrilled in their day-to-day existence. It's part of our brand manifesto. I am so glad you agree. At Rizzo's, we encourage our employees to view customers in the same way they would a board-approved social acquaintance. Which means it is my pleasure to spend time with you even when I am not being paid to do so. Isn't that nice? I certainly think so. And you know what never fails to bring a smile to my face? The breathtaking tours we offer throughout the orchards. Seasonally available for purchase in the Nut Hut. Why, you're standing smack dab in the pride and joy of Rizzo's nearly natural product development sector. We call this fecund landscape the Purple Berry Orchards, since that's our main crop. But we also sow and grow mock apples, nanners, pea-free nuts, tarmac, and more. Rizzo's is pleased as Mock Apple Pie to offer 3 tiers of VIP tours. Premium, Premium Plus, and the Golden Ticket. All are available for purchase in the Nut Hut. Of course, tours of any excess level must be suspended during a scheduled pollinization cycle. Our waspitos are quite territorial and have been known to sting both workers and visitors alike. Gosh and goody gumdrops, but I could talk about the orchards till my lips fell off. What kind of investigation? You wouldn't happen to be from the Health Inspection Office, would you? For sure there is. The Health and Safety Bureau is board-run and certified. So in Eridanos, all inspectors effectively work for Rizzo's. Well, and other representative member corporations of the board. It turns out, the other board corps get a hearty chuckle out of harassing Rizzo's with regular safety checks. It's really not fair if you think about it. Just because we own less shares on the board than the others doesn't mean we should have to deal with health and safety inspections when the others don't. Oh, drat. This distresses me, and I do not like feeling cross. But I do have a few bits on me. Mayhaps this amount will put a smile on your face. I warned the orchardist this could happen when we halted our monthly bribe to Slug. They were always a reliable go-between, regarding inspections before now. So, what might you be looking to find out, Mr. Inspector? Did Did he now? Well, that sounds about right. He has been mightily outspoken in his disdain for Slug in recent months. The overseeing orchardist had the last groundskeeper deliver a contract termination in the place of our regular payment. Rizzo's decided we don't need their services anymore. See, with our new morale-boosting medical treatments, our employees are much more productive. No need for unsightly intimidation tactics. Sorry, I'm not at liberty to say. Trade secrets and all that. I can't stop you from poking around, but do be mindful of our pollinization hive. Mosquitoes tend towards aggressive at the best of times. There's a reason why we keep him behind an electric fence, you know.
Keep him quiet, Cap.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Congratulations, Inspector. You've discovered more footprints belonging to the deceased actress known as Halcyon Helen. Timeline discrepancy detected.
I just want to be your friend!
I just want to be your friend!
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Congratulations, Inspector. You've discovered more footprints belonging to the deceased actress known as Halcyon Helen. Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Congratulations, Inspector. You've discovered more footprints belonging to the deceased actress known as Halcyon Helen. Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Congratulations, Inspector. You've discovered more footprints belonging to the deceased actress known as Halcyon Helen. Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
Hey, what are you doing in here? Are you authorized to be in the conservatory? Are you trying to give me a heart attack? Are you my ex-wife? No, she fell off the side of Eridanos under mysterious circumstances 6 years ago, conveniently rendering our marriage contract null. You must be the new, groundskeeper? That can't be it either, seeing how the new one hasn't died yet. Just who are you? Very funny. If you were Edna, you would have stabbed me in the throat halfway through the second word of my first question.
Does he think you look like his ex-wife? Or that you're gonna stab him for no reason? 'Cause one of those is kinda true.
I'm getting old, damn it. And after a while, anything that isn't a plant gets hard to distinguish from anything that is. But no, you don't look like Edna. Though you do smell a bit like her, like blood and starship grease. You must be that freelance inspector. Well, I suppose you can poke around as you like. Bleeding hell. Standing up like this makes a body forget how stiff he gets, bent over plants all day. Oh, seems I'm not as young as I feel. Indeed. Tromped in and out of the conservatory with no heed for anyone else. Good thing none of my charges were damaged. Starlet or not, I would have had a harsh word for her. I heard she pushed her way into a tour of the RR&DD labs not soon after. She's just a serial actress. Yet she acts like she's deserved of the same access as a co-CEO. Well, she's not going anywhere ever again. Which is a shame, of course. Taken too soon and all. I sit inside and I look at plants. Goal is usually to make Rizzo's fruit products hardier and sweeter, but for every success, there are a couple of hundred failures. Example, tried breeding native Tripicale with a foreign strain. Would have called it Hexticale. In the end, it bred so fast, workers were swallowed up before they could harvest it. That one, I think, can be attributed to the waspitos. Some lament their irritability, but their productivity is unmatched. What's a few dead workers in the architect's designs? You say angry. I say efficient. Not only can our waspitos defend themselves, but Rizzo's investments as well. They come through the orchards only during pollination cycles, as dictated by our hive control operators, which means that visitors usually aren't on the receiving ends of their stingers. Well, yes, if there's an equipment malfunction, the pollination cycle will have to be manually shut down, which means traveling to hive control while the waspitos swarm.
Congratulations, Inspector. You've discovered more Congratulations, Inspector. Timeline. Congratulations, Inspector. You've discovered more footprints belonging to the deceased actress known as Halcyon Helen. Timeline discrepant. Congratulations, Inspector. You've discovered more footprints belonging to the deceased actress known as Halcyon Helen. Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Congratulations, Inspector. You've discovered more footprints belonging to the deceased actress known as Halcyon Helen. Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Congratulations, Inspector. You've discovered more footprints belonging to the deceased actress known as...
Come here! Wanna give you a tip? Just so I can make...
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Congratulations, Inspector. You've discovered more footprints belonging to the deceased actress known as Halcyon Helen. Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Congratulations, Inspector. You've discovered more footprints belonging to the deceased actress known as Halcyon Helen. detected nearby. Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Bits of wicker detected, embedded within the chunks of dark matter. Wicker is not a known ingredient of the dark matter product. The only members of a tossball team strong enough to crack a stick in two are the dedicated hackers, like Black Hole Birdie. Whatever Ms. Ruth Bellamy must have relayed to the tossball hacker during their picnic together instigated a furious increase in his usual strength threshold by 52%.
Something went wrong here. I really hope it wasn't the food.
Congratulations, Inspector. You've discovered more footprints belonging to the deceased actress known as Halcyon. Congratulations, Inspector. You've discovered more footprints belonging to the deceased actress known as Halcyon Helen.
Great work!
Administrator Ludovico can seem intimidating, but he's a decent fellow. I know he cares.
Wow, not even a scratch! Helen was at this lab too. We're close to finding something. I can feel it.
Hello? I can hear you out there. If you still possess the majority of your mental capacities, please locate the test room through the lobby and to the left. You'll see me through the glass. How in the Aether did you get in here? You're not a Rizzo's authorized. Oh, void it all. What does it even matter now? What do you want? Speak up and quickly if you will. You do know that Halcyon Helen is a fictional character portrayed by the late actress Ruth Bellamy, yes? One can't be too sure with so many simpletons around in the day-to-day. Regardless, I am not at liberty to divulge such information with non-employees or personnel lacking security clearance level Spectrum Orange. Of course, if you were to say, contract your services to me, I suppose I could grant you clearance enough to answer your murder-related questions, Mr. Inspector. You see, I've found myself in a bit of a pickle. Some of my lab techs have turned rather aggressive following a recent experiment gone awry. Hence why I've barricaded myself in the lab. Yes. I suppose I should make myself useful. Let me think. Ah, I know. I can remotely unlock the supply closets in the lower levels of the lab. Perhaps you'll find some useful apparatus or two in them. Excellent. You have my gratitude, and soon you'll have my knowledge of Miss Bellamy's recent visit as well. Now, if you'd rather not kill my lab techs during this cleanup, I believe you can dispense a sedative gas from a terminal in the utility room.
Still ain't a fan of the way she talks about her workers. I say, we prove her wrong, and find a way to save these people.
The door to the lower labs is sealed for our safety, so you'll need to take the elevator down. I'll unseal the access hallway for you now. Do take care.
That's awful. I wonder if this poor fella had a family. Gone quiet.
Wanna be your friend!
Look at all that Rizzo's. It's like something out of my nightmares.
assumed that it would.
Rizzo's could have helped a lot of people with all the bits they're throwing me this time.
Thank you.
Dr. Blossom? Captain, we got...
Dr. Blossom was a horrible person, but she was gonna cooperate with you. Somebody wanted to keep her quiet.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Confirmation of discrepancy confirmed. This person is most definitely dead. But recently, they were still alive.
What do you think happened?
I remember those gunshots. Energy weapons don't sound that way. Killer must have been using something exotic.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. The organic matter that comprises this lab worker died at a similar time and of similar circumstance as the other corpses already scanned. Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Body heat readings indicate that the culprit was just here mere moments earlier in the timeline.
Looks like a standard ventilation shaft to me. Somebody around my size could have crawled in. Wouldn't have been comfortable or, you know, clean. Ventilation shafts usually turn into sprat nests. See that red wire? Whoever cut that wire was trying to disrupt the circuit. They could have sealed the lab doors temporarily. At least until the failsafes kicked in.
We gotta hunt this killer down, boss. They're not gonna stop until we do.
Not gonna... Oh, whoops. There it is. Okay. This is... This is Dr. Blossom. Eridanium gigaseous slug research report 1. Subject: a bunch of slugs. Ugh. These things may well be Rizzo's ticket to the top of the board. But at the end of the day, they still look like my brother would if he ever stopped wearing that damn toupee. Initially found these little bastards suckling on the hairy undersides of a teacup canid. Much like my brother, who works for the Wilderness Exploitation Reserve. The backstabber. Suffice it to say that these things...
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
It's almost as stupid as my research staff. Good stuff. Oh, whoops. Got some spectrum on the dissection subject. It's fine. Yeah, I think I see a couple sacs in the worm. Might secrete enzymes or poison or something. We'll figure it out later. Starting to see doubles, so I'm going to switch to working on the Gatling. Almost got the spectrum lock done.
The organic matter that comprises this lab worker died at a similar time and of similar circumstance as the other corpses already scanned.
Attention all personnel. Unscheduled pollinization cycle is about to commence. Please evacuate the orchards at this time. Releasing the wasquitos for pollinization. Cycle is now in progress.
I don't really know what a wasquito is, but I think we're about to get educated in a hurry. For Felix.
They're known to cause auditory confusion before death. So if you cannot understand this message, that may be why.
Timeline.
I'm guessing you can't just cut a path right through this maze, right? Nah, of course not.
I've already told you 6 times, and I'll tell you 6 more. I don't want a fucking tour! You can badger me all you want. I don't care if I'm from Forest Mills. I'm here as an individual, and I have just as much right to be here as any other visitor. You're welcome to bring a lawyer if you really want to try to force me out, but I can guarantee you that I will bury them. Oh, now you change your mind. Couldn't you have done that hours ago and saved us both the time? Wait a moment. You have all your teeth. You're not soaked in filth, and you don't look quite as slack-jawed as the regular Rizzo staff. Are you not with Rizzo's? Bah! I've lived in Byzantium long enough to read between your words. Here's your filthy money. Since you're already here, perhaps I can sweeten the pot even further. Regardless, please inform me if you'd be interested in a job. I've spent enough time out here that I'm starting to itch. I do not enjoy itching. I'm sure you have questions. When the going gets tough, the lawyers start going. Some farther than others. I've been a junior lawyer for coming up on 20 years now, and quite frankly, I'm getting old. Hopefully, there will be enough legal kindling out here to fuel my firm for a while longer, and if I find that kindling, I stand to finally get my raise. I do indeed. Specifically, I'm their general counsel. Forest Mills, if you somehow don't know, owns Tile, Wentworth, Dock Rocket, and 24/7 Furniture. We're something of a big deal. I did. You see, Rizzo's has been advertising a contest in the puzzle hedges. Whoever gets to the center first gets a bottle of the first Spectrum ever made, the Spectrum Original. My interest, however, lies with the associated promise, the chance to attend the Spectrum Brown unveiling and meet Halcyon Helen. Indeed, you are a savvy one. Rizzo's can no longer make good on their promise, which means this entire contest is one big fraud case. All I need is a single piece of evidence. With the Spectrum original bottle, which is located in the center of the puzzle hedges, I will have all I need to sue Rizzo's for all they're worth. That's where you come in. I don't know if you know this, but Rizzo's is on the outs. They're losing power and losing money. This was no doubt a desperate bid to regain some lost clout. That, or their marketing team is particularly spiteful. You know the saying, I'm sure. Why work for a promotion when sabotage takes half the time and a quarter of the effort? Technically, I sue not on behalf of Forest Mills, but for my own benefit. In arbitration, it might be difficult to argue that this contest is designed to slight Forest Mills. However, as it so happens, if my lawsuit takes a chunk out of their savings, then I can collect while also damaging their capital. It's a mutual win. I make millions, Rizzo's falls further from the board's good graces, and Forest Mills products look that much more valuable compared to Rizzo's trash. Navigating the maze is normally no easy task. Rizzo's has no interest in giving their property, however old, away for free.
Come on, Captain, it'll be fun! Not like they got Mantiqueens waiting around the corner or anything.
I'm glad you're feeling confident, but this maze is deadly by design. And if that weren't enough, Zimmerman and Navarre don't want anyone sneaking away with their prize. The place is mined and rife with murderous mechanicals. 2 buffoons, but persistent buffoons. There's that woman from Glacial Age who has perhaps never had an original idea in her life and hopes to pass the original off as her own. Then there's Navarre, who is strange. I suggested I give her the original after my lawsuit if we worked together, but she wouldn't hear of it. It must be hers alone, it seems. Excellent. I look forward to finally being able to focus solely on legal matters. Oh, and keep an eye out for competitors. Odds are they'll be looking out for the original as well.
My word, stranger, you sure gave me a fright. I thought you were one of those strange sorts heaving all over the place. Maybe they got a bad batch of purpleberry wine. Since you don't seem to be laughing maniacally or projectile vomiting, think you could do me a favor? I'm trying to come up with a new name for a Glacial Age product, but the creative side of things just isn't my area of expertise. Do you happen to have any ideas? Oh, okay. Well, I'm sure I'll come up with something. Eventually. If you find a map or a stepladder or something, don't hesitate to let me know. I'm beginning to fear coming here wasn't worth the trouble. Close. I want what's in the center. You've heard of the competition, right? Whoever gets to the center gets a rare Rizzo's product and the chance to meet Halcyon Helen? My eyes on the rare Rizzo's product, namely the Spectrum Original, the first product Rizzo's ever made. I intend to reverse engineer it and make it Glacial Age's own.
So you're just gonna steal somebody else's formula? I probably should have seen this coming by now.
Ooh, this is dandy. I was not expecting any feedback from field testing before I'd even created the product. I'll be sure to jot that down for future reference. All I need for my prototype is the original itself. Then I can start production. Dishonest? I've only ever heard that word used in that arbitration serial Lawful Labelle. Rizzo steals, Spacer's Choice steals, Auntie Cleo steals. And so, if Rizzo's decides to release one of their original products for anyone to take, then it's Glacial Age's right to swoop in and be proactive. My, oh my. Wouldn't it be wonderful if a freelancer could help rescue me?
All right, hushing up.
Go! Everyone all right?
Greetings. Have you brought your auto-mechanical to the service technician lately? No need to get testy. Everyone forgets maintenance from time to time. Judging by this exchange, I presume you are not the person I was waiting here to meet. Never used a cipher phrase before? Not sure if that makes you more or less trustworthy. Listen, I don't know you, so I'd rather keep my admissions to a minimum without the presence of legal counsel. I was waiting for someone to give me information about these hedges. That's as much as you need to know.
Why do I get the feeling she's scared of talking to us?
I take offense to that. I think. Shh, not so loud. Ah, damn it. I guess you already know. I am indeed looking for the prize. You've caught me. Did you now? And how do you know the others aren't secretly Rizzo's agents who'll stab you in the back and take the bottle the moment you turn away? Give me the original and your actions will actually matter. I can promise you that. Think fast. Never know when someone will come out of a bush, bolter pistol at the ready. Keep your voice down. Never know who might be listening. Nobody of consequence. Think of me as an archivist. I collect that which the corporations have dismissed as failures and try to sweep under the rug. Take the recalled Spacer's Choice Powerhead. It was a shotgun shell on a stick, apparently supposed to be used like a spear. Had a tendency to ream the user's torso with buckshot. Corps don't want the common man to know about screw-ups like that, which is why I keep my actions decidedly in the shadows. I did. Someone I paid to inform on the orchards after I heard murmurs of a prize here. For security reasons, I never learned much about my contacts. All I knew about this one was that they were a groundskeeper. But the one here is either senseless or acting very well. Presumably, whoever I was in contact with was lying. Or they were found out and hurled off the side of Eridanos. It's a risk of the business.
Performing an area.
Heads up! For this! Be your friend!
Unexpected noise identified.
I just wanted to make you smile!
Did I hear? I just want to be your friend.
Can we do that again?
timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Analysis. Ground appears to be scattered with purpleberry seedlings. This particular strain is of a variety proprietary to Rizzo's and should not be in common use.
I'm glad you're back. The sooner I gain your assistance, I'm sure you have questions. You do? I should have expected that things wouldn't be as easy as they looked. Well, let me know if you find any other information.
Looks like we're doing this.
You got it, Captain!
Out of my way! I can't see!
Hello again, youngster. You're certainly doing a lot of running to and fro. Don't overexert yourself. The wasp-ketos can smell weakness. Bleeding hell. Standing up like this makes a body forget how stiff he gets, bent over plants all day. Oh, seems I'm not as young as I feel. Oh, there that damn thing is. Thank you. I guess this proves it's wise to label your things. Otherwise, some fool might use them as prizes in an ill-advised scavenger hunt. Easy there, my angry young friend. I can explain. I will admit, I did take the original, yes. But I did so to keep it away from those who shouldn't have it. It's safer in my hands. If you're here to get it, I might suggest you give up. I'm known to be quite a stubborn git. Damnation, hadn't thought of that. Isn't my having it better than any random guest making off with it? I guess not, if it'll cause the company more trouble. Here's the original. Don't do anything with it that I wouldn't do.
Hello there, stranger. Has the terror ray landed? Keep your voice down. Never know who might be listening.
I'm glad you're back. The sooner I gain, I'm sure you have questions. Ah, finally. Where have you been all my life, my darling? You and I will make quite a team, won't we? Your pay, good freelancer. I shall win this case in your honor.
Don't mess with the best. Right, let's dance.
Please visit the Purpleberry Nut Hut to purchase an audio tour today.
Hey! Oh, wait. I'm supposed to say the slogan. Okay, you can do this, Anna. Here goes. It doesn't matter if you're you or me. We're all part of the Rizzo's family. How was that?
It was really... It rhymed.
Ouch. Well, your candor's appreciated, even if it means I'll have to hit the books even harder tonight. I'm sure you've guessed it, but I'm not the best at remembering slogans. And when I can't remember them, I tend to just make them up. But I guess that's why I'm just an intern and not a full-timer. At least, not yet. What? No, that's ridiculous. I can't tell you I've never made any mistakes, but it'd be pretty hard to keep my job if I were trying to break everything. Though there was the time I tried to fix a broken hinge on one of our mosquito hives and released a swarm. Chased me around the orchards 3 times before I managed to get help. Hey, that was one honest mistake. One! And considering the fact that mosquitoes have a tendency to kill people, I think I learned my lesson. As did the rest of Rizzo's. Don't worry though, mosquitoes are typically only about when living folks aren't in the orchards. I'm not trying to distract you. And what failings are you talking about? I've been helping the orchards. Hold a moment. You haven't found anything, have you? But there's nothing to come clean about. I've just been doing my best out here. Oh yes. I thought I saw someone who looked self-important enough to be her by the conservatory some time ago. Not to speak ill of the dead. I simply never liked the way she stole the limelight from the true star. Burbage 3001. I certainly am. That aerodynamic chassis? How the light glints off his rotund head, the way he enunciates, "Cry havoc, and let loose the canids of war." Excuse me, I got a little lightheaded there. Nobody does Shakespeare like Burbage. What were we talking about? Who? I suppose so.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Congratulations, Inspector. You've discovered more footprints belonging to the deceased actress known as Halcyon Helen.
I didn't know Rizzo's made a Gatling gun. Seems a mite unnecessary.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Analysis. This discarded canister is typical of the R-mounted storage tanks on the orchard's agricultural mechanicals. However, it is not currently attached to a mechanical. This canister contains a high amount of vinegar in addition to water. Warning. Use of vinegar, a known herbicide, on purpleberry saplings is a violation of Rizzo's agricultural standards. Chemical makeup of substance, 50% water, 50% vinegar. Trace amounts of woolly cow feces also detected. These canisters can typically be found in the nursery storage building in the purpleberry orchards, except for this one, which can be found here. timeline discrepancy detected nearby. This console is 95% non-functional. Remaining 5% functionality stems from display reading console non-functional. Cause of shortout is most likely related to purple residue splattered all across the keyboard. Substance contains trace amounts of purple berries, fruit flavors, and artificial sweeteners number 35, number 49, number 240, number 322, number 314, and many, many, many others.
You know you're liable to get sick doing that.
Back again, eh? I knew you couldn't resist my charms for long. Let me know if there's anything I can help you with. Unless you already have, and I've forgotten. In which case, I probably won't forget a second time. Well, yes. The orchards are becoming overrun with pests. Usually we give workers handguns and tell them to go to town, which results in many injured workers and a few dead sprats. Our exterminator automechs only kill mosquitoes. And even then, only if an exec somehow ended up in the orchards during a pollinization cycle. So I decided to do some reprogramming. The reprogramming was easy until I locked myself out of the terminal. Then, when I was running away from the bots, I dropped the terminal access card somewhere in the orchards. Believe me, I know that now. Guess I did sort of mess that one up. Why should Weed Killer affect saplings? Weed Killer. It's in the name. It should kill only weeds. That really seems like it's more on product design than on me. Well, maybe. I might have had a supersized cup of mixed purpleberry punch and lemon slap that I might have knocked over when I was running routine diagnostics. Look, I know what you're thinking, but I have the proper permit to mix those drinks. I just left it in my other work uniform.
I don't know if I believe her, but she's really trying her best.
Hey, we have a lot of uniforms. It's hard keeping track of all your belongings. Product experimentation without an R&D license is even more severe than damage to company property. Wouldn't want anyone thinking I'm making black market mixed drinks. But there's nothing to come clean about. I've just been doing...
You're back, I see. Glad Slug hasn't managed to scare you off.
I think it's more of a wonder that nothing in these law-forsaken orchards has managed to kill them.
How's the investigation going? You got a complete report for me yet? All right, let's hear the details. A drink? I ain't ever heard of no saboteur dumping drinks all over equipment to destroy it. I hate to say it, but that sounds more like worker carelessness.
How many times do I have to tell you this, old man? Slug isn't behind your problems. Slug wouldn't even need to cause you problems. Your own workers do enough.
Ha! Knew Slug was behind the damn sabotage.
Please. We're subtle, but that's too subtle. If we wanted to destroy your saplings, you'd have known them by the blackened remnants of their stems, not some half-assed poisoning.
I see you left a few of them intact even. Smashed more than I'd like, but I guess I'm glad you didn't obliterate them all.
Never did like leaving a job half-finished myself. But that's me.
So what were the fine details of the sabotage anyhow? Were Slug's lackeys trying to get the mechanicals to kill all our waspitos? Of course. And what better way to do that than by targeting our pollinizers? They'd be a hell of a pain to kill manually. But if you set the mechanicals to do it...
In your delusional fantasy, the waspitos wouldn't be out until next pollinization cycle. Wouldn't someone notice the rampant mechanicals beforehand?
That seems like a question you should be asking yourself. I mean, a slug agent could have initiated hive control with the intent to initiate a pollinization cycle and stop it just as quickly. Maybe they were just gonna do it later.
Stop wasting everyone's time, Hathaway. What you're proposing is infinitely less likely than an idiot maneuver by one of your incompetent workers. I won't hear any further slander. Let's go through this one final time so even you can't confuse it, Hathaway. Slug didn't do a damn thing to your orchards. You're chasing ghosts.
Talk about ghosts all you like, but someone was screwing with my orchards. If it wasn't Slug, then who the hell was it? Summers? The intern? I didn't really take her for a meddlesome type. But now that I think about it, that's why she'd be a perfect saboteur. I'll deal with her later. Right now, we of the orchards have to settle things with Slug. I reckon that you're about as impartial a third party as we're gonna get. Can you mediate?
Ah, what the hell. The orchardist seems to get off on complicating what should be a simple deal, but at this point, I just want to be paid and go. The pollen in the air is agitating.
Never like paying bits if I ain't gotta, but you're right. If we get production finished now, we'll be able to pay later. Thoughts, Slug Boy?
I think that's the first interesting suggestion I've heard since our back and forth began. Slug can wait for an increase in costs. I hope we won't have this conversation again.
Now that that's out of the way, we can discuss the intern. If she was really causing all that trouble, I will delight in severing her from her job. Even if I were inclined to believe you, that's some damn severe incompetence you're talking about. I still wouldn't want someone like that working the orchards. What the hell are you proposing? Let her burn the orchards down while I stand behind her and applaud? We ain't got nothing to exchange. She wants to help, does she? You know what? I'll call your bluff. She can keep at it with close supervision, but if she screws up even once, she's out. Here's your pay, with a little extra for getting to the bottom of things. It's gonna be real interesting in the orchards for the foreseeable future. Thanks, I guess.
It's Rizzo's! Welcome to the Purpleberry Nut Hut, you wonderful, wonderful customer! Thank you for giving my humble existence value.
I can't tell if she's happy or dying on the inside.
I sure am! Good lamps you got on you to take notice. Now I'd love to get you something. Maybe a couple somethings? Whatever you like, I can sell it to you at a low, low price. Our alcohol stocks are larger than ever. And a good thing, too, because I just can't seem to stop myself from getting into them. Our products are just that good.